The Best Investment I Ever Made by A J Cronin. A J Cronin was a Scottish physician and novelist. He was one of the most commercially successful Scottish writers of the 20th century. During his career, Cronin wrote around 30 novels, of which nearly half were adapted into films. In 1930, he spent 3 months recuperating from ill health in the Highlands, and during that time wrote his first novel, Haydar's Castle, which became an immediate success when published the following year. Over the next 4 decades, he produced a steady flow of novels and articles, many of which also went on to achieve great success. Perhaps his most influential book was The Citadel, published in 1937. The Citadel is often credited as the inspiration for the National Health Service introduced in Britain in the years following the Second World War. And more widely, the gritty social realism of Cronin's novels was believed by many to be an important factor in bringing about the landslide victory of the Labour Party in the 1945 UK general election. A J Cronin is best remembered because of his novella Country Doctor, which introduced the character of the Scottish doctor, Dr. Finlay. This character inspired a BBC TV series that ran from 1962 to 1971 and another TV series produced in 1993 by Scottish Television and PBS. Dr. Finlay also featured in a BBC radio series that ran throughout the 1970s, with further radio adaptations being produced in 2001 and 2002. A J Cronin died in 1981. The Best Investment I Ever Made is a story written by A J Cronin in which he narrated a small story that took place on a voyage from New York. Cronin is on a travel on a liner. He had decided to relax as he was tired. He realized that somebody was observing him. He wished to avoid the boredom and annoyance of other people, so he did not show any interest in the man who was watching him. After a couple of days, the man who was observing Cronin with his wife approached Cronin and met him. They were Mr. and Mrs. John S. from a small suburb of London. Mr. John and his wife had been active for the past 15 years in the field of youth welfare. He was a solicitor. He found time to act as director of a charitable organization devoted to the care of boys and girls, mostly from city slums, who had fallen under the ban of law. Cronin was impressed by the man's dedicated work for the maladjusted and the delinquent. Mr. John was feeling disappointed that Cronin had not recognized him. Finally, Mr. John reminded him about an incident. 25 years ago, Mr. John was an orphan and a poor boy. He had no friends. He had made companions with bad people and thereby ruined his life gambling horses. But he lost all his small savings. The young man had taken a sum of money from the office for a final gamble, but he lost the gamble that he was assured was certain to win. He was scared and attempted suicide. Cronin, a sergeant of police, and the landlady tried to save him. Cronin, with the help of police sergeant, continuously worked for 1.5 hours. At first, it seemed a hopeless action. Finally, through redoubled efforts, the doctor brought him back to life. The sergeant, the landlady, and the doctor decided to give the young man a fresh start. The surgeon resolved to make no report upon the case. The landlady offered a month's free board. The doctor gave him £7 and 10 shillings to put back in the office. After the incident, Mr. John became a man who loved charity and helping others with a small amount of money that Cronin spent. To majority, the word investment is generally associated with money. People invest money in order to gain profitable returns as interest or income. But in this story, the best investment I ever made, the narrator's investment is a thing that shapes a new man who sees the world with different positive and confident view. What we can say is that the best investment is the people, and gain of that investment is invaluable.